But if you worked with me, if we had the change engine...
So you can do to someone else what you did to me. Nah. The box stays hidden.
If you could see what we're learning from the Kryptonian ship, I think the change engine can integrate with its energy, get it powered up.
Does anybody know?
What?
At the lab. Does anybody know I'm alive?
I didn't think you were ready for them to...
For what? For them to see the monster.
You are not a monster.
It's weird that you thought I meant me.
Hey guys, Cyborg here, back again with another review. Today we'll be taking a look at the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Justice League Scott Snyder Director's Cut. Gosh darn, that's a mouthful. Cyborg! Not to be confused with Deathlock, aka Cyclotron. Yeah, Cyborg and Deathlock are very similar. I want to say Deathlock came first, but I could be wrong. I don't know, DC's usually the one to do stuff first, but they're very similar. But again, that'd be a cool crossover, wouldn't it? Cyborg versus Deathlock? Come on, you know you want it. But at any rate, this is a pretty sweet figure. It does have its issues. Excuse me. But this one is also brought to you in part by Mr. Bryan's Toy Chest, much like the Unmasked Red Hood variant, aka Jason Todd, I took a look at yesterday because I'm most likely going to upload 2 videos back to back. If I don't, well then, what's wrong with me? But we got old Cyborg here, and because my dad leaves things meat in the package, I don't have the collectible trading card, but I do have a stand because I have plenty of these. So he comes with that. Comes with this freaking sweet ass gun arm, which you can pop off. Pull. It's just got a little nub in there. It's just get. What the hell is that? You can take the regular arm, which has a freaking trigger finger for some reason. That's another thing. It's like tight joints and trigger fingers. They need to be given a second look in this line because there's too many gosh darn trigger fingers on characters who don't need them, man. We need more punching in the face hands and stuff. Less trigger fingers. But chances are, if I get this guy, I'm going to display him with that gun arm because it's freaking sweet, but I digress. Looking at him, he looks cool. He looks like movie Cyborg. It's just, I'm not a big fan of movie Cyborg. And I'm not a fan of Cyborg being in the Justice League either. That's Martian Manhunter or Hawkman or Dr. Fate, someone like that. I prefer in the Justice, even Shazam, who I guess you could technically say is a bit of a Teen Titan because he's a kid. But, you know, it just, I never cared for Cyborg in the Justice League. I always prefer him in Teen Titans with, was it Robin, or even sometimes nowadays Nightwing. He's still a member of Teen Titans even though he's, what, 20-something? Same with Starfire. So, you know, I kind of prefer that, but whatever. I'm not in control of DC. I can't make those decisions. But Cyborg is cool. A little bit endoskeleton-y for me. I would have preferred if he was bulkier. Kind of like the Injustice versions come to mind. They're like a nice balance. The Injustice 2 version's like ripped. As far as that goes, he's super bulky. He's more like the animated style, which is my favorite. I do have that figure, but I won't be comparing him because it's kind of buried. But as far as this guy's articulation goes, he's got good range in the head. He can look all the way up. He can look down a tiny bit. He's got some tilt. Look at that tilt. He can look around. It's a little hindered, but it's not too bad. Shoulders go out to the side pretty far. He's got rubbery shoulder pads. I wish there were or there was a little bit more for them to plug into on the bicep, because that's where they plug in. Seems like they're not plugged in to a whole lot of area there, so it would have been nice if they were maybe a little bit thicker there, but whatever. He's got the ball joint kind of butterfly joint thing going on. You can shift his arm around. So it's gonna rotation, bicep swivel, single joint at the elbow on both sides. There's no double there because of all of his electronic bits here, mechanical bits. He's got a fist hand on this side, so that's cool. You can rotate that around. He's just got hinge swivel fists too. And I don't believe this arm comes out. Don't quote me on that though, but it's not coming out, so that's how it's going to stay. Diaphragm joint's a little loose, but does crunch a little tiny. It quivers and then it rotates. And then this rotates here, and that's really where you're going to get your crunch from, is down here. So you can crunch forward a bit. The diaper needs to be glued down also. My Etrigan had the same issue. His diaper's kind of a floaty piece. This is too... Like, I appreciate that I can pose the crap out of this guy however I want. This isn't going to get in the way. It seems like this should have been glued in here, because it just kind of flops around. His hips kick out to the side pretty far. That's not too bad. They do kick forward and back. He's got a thigh cut. Single joint at the knee. Now, I'm surprised they went with that, but you get enough range out of it. It's 90 degrees. That's fair. And then, this is the piece they resist on. So he doesn't have any rotation down in the lower leg, as far as I can tell. But he has, listen to this, some of the best ankle joints in this line. Like, oh my god, those are so tight. I love it. It's like ASMR. I love how tight those are, man. That's great. That's what Redeemer needs. This is what Redeemer needs. If he had this, the loose hip thing might not be an issue. But those are super tight. With a little finagling, he stands right up. His feet are kind of weird. But because he's got such tight ankle joints, he will eventually stand. Yeah, he's tricky to stand only because of the kind of looseness in his hips. He's a little loose in the hips, so he is kind of tricky to get standing up, but you can do it. It's not that hard. But of course he has the rocker and then the toe joint, which is tight on one side, kind of loose on the other. It's hard to line the feet up exactly, but it can be done. See, there you go. And you got peg holes on the bottom of his feet, so if you gotta use a stand, you can. But this guy looks really good. He looks really freaking good. And stands really well. He's not going to fall over on you. Those ankles aren't getting loose anytime soon. I'll tell you that much. So that being said, let's take a look at some comparisons. First up, here is Cyborg next to the other two members of the Justice League that I've already taken a look at on the channel. We got Wonder Woman from the Wonder Woman 84 line, which is the only way you're going to get a Gal Gadot Wonder Woman in her semi-traditional DC Cinematic Universe attire. I still wish that figure came with a sword. And then we have Aquaman, who is a recent addition to my collection. I already reviewed this figure, but I got him back because Mr. Brian got a minty mint one because he's all mint in your package. So here you go. But yeah, I really like the way this is starting to look, but unfortunately I don't know if I'll ever complete this team because, well, the Target Superman sold out and that's the one I wanted. Oh, poop. Maybe I'll find it at some point. What do you guys think? And last, but certainly not least, we have our two regulars, the Mythic Legion's Brother Mandibulus and the Mortal Kombat 11 Spawn. So with that being said, time to wrap things up. Some final thoughts. Overall, and while I don't believe that this is a perfect rendition of Cyborg from the Justice League live action movie, I will say, and this is something I've been saying in all these reviews, at least of the McFarlane Toys Justice League line anyways, this is leaps and bounds above the Mattel one. That Mattel one freaking sucks compared to this. That, and let's be honest, when McFarlane makes like robots or monsters, that's his bread and butter. He's obviously going to do it better than most people. Maybe aside from, I don't know, NECA or Four Horsemen, but those are two totally different companies compared to McFarlane Toys. What McFarlane Toys is doing right now is pretty gangbusters. Gotta tweak the articulation a little bit. We need some tighter joints. I don't know what happened, but over the course of the year, the joints have gotten looser and looser on his figures, and it's starting to get a little bit annoying trying to stand some of them up. This one doesn't really have that problem because he's got the best ankles I've ever seen on one of these. I mean, seriously, he's got the best ankles out of any of these Multiverse figures, I believe. I don't recall anyone else having rock solid, super sturdy ankles like this guy, but I could be wrong. But at any rate, if you're at all interested in completing the Justice League lineup like I am, doing extremely slowly, definitely pick this one up. I think he's a winner. I think he's cool. But I'm just not a fan of the movie Cyborg design. He's a little skinny. I like the animated one. You know, the Booyah one. But at any rate, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Don't forget to like this video, hit that subscribe button, and the notification bell so you know whenever I upload more reviews like this one. Can show that algorithm who's boss, right? And as always, don't forget to hit me up on Instagram at Overlord Productions and leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know what you think of this guy, whether you want him, love him, or hate him. And the movie stuff's always a mixed bag with people, but I could see people buying this as a stand-in comic version for now, maybe. Maybe? I don't know. I like an Injustice 2 version, to be honest with you. I think that one looks really cool. But as always, keep the comments civil, because the world sucks enough as it is. And until next time, I'll catch you guys later.